Left for dead. Sheriff's deputy stepping in for a second case of animal abuse that nearly killed a dog.
More cuts to funding for the Everglades restoration. Why environmentalists worry about what this means for our waterways.
Slashes to student loans. The new concerns tonight over the president's proposal and how it could leave you with more debt.
Live from the station that's in your corner. You're watching Fox 4 News at 10.
First at 10, a gruesome case of animal abuse in Lee County just weeks after another dog was left with its mouth taped shut. I'm Patrick Nolan.
And I'm Jane Monreal. This time, the dog left outside for so long you won't believe what was left on his body. Fox 4's Anna Coles has those details tonight.
8-year-old Walter was found tied to a basketball hoop in Lehigh Acres. With a cut so deep, we had to blur out these images for you. Walter was reported having a fever of 104 degrees, and he was trying to hide under one of these cars for shade. We talked to a neighbor who says to see a dog in such bad shape is unthinkable.
All I can say is terrible. It's break my heart. I can't even imagine.
The dog's owner, Salvador Carvajal, was arrested for aggravated animal cruelty and faces a felony charge. But why Carvajal tied the dog up for how long he was there, we're still working to find out.
As a sheriff of this county, I'm not going to tolerate animal abuse. Zero tolerance. You hurt an animal in this county, you're going to jail.
This is the second major animal abuse case in the last few weeks the sheriff's office has had to undertake. In this case, Walter is doing better already, playing with Sheriff Carmen Marcino at the sheriff's office. Marcino encourages anyone who sees an animal getting abused to report it immediately.
It's so important that we have everybody actively help us in this county. We're one piece of the puzzle.
If you want to report animal abuse in Lee County, visit our website at fox4now.com and we'll have the link there for you. Make sure you have plenty of information for them, including a description of the animal and also the exact time and location. In the control room, Anna Coles, Fox 4, in your corner.
And one dog who was rescued from an abusive situation has now been deputized. The Lee County Sheriff's Office says Chance, remember him, is recovering nicely, full of energy. He was found weeks ago with tape around his mouth. After being deputized, he went to a ribbon-cutting ceremony at the all-new Spins Roller Skating Center in Fort Myers. Deputy Chance accompanied, of course, Sheriff Carmine Marcino and spent part of Saturday greeting and meeting new people.
A bill to repeal the ban on smokable medical marijuana in Florida is headed to the governor's desk. It did pass today. This is the first bill to go to the governor's desk during this legislative session. A majority of Florida voters approved medical marijuana in 2016, but then lawmakers turned around and banned any smokable forms of it in a bill that was signed by then Governor Rick Scott. That was in 2017. The state was actually sued over the issue, and a judge declared the ban unconstitutional.
A homicide suspect in Cape Coral is back in jail after police say he repeatedly called and texted an employee involved in the investigation. Ryan Doyen is now charged with stalking. Police say when the employee blocked his number, Doyen kept contacting that person through other numbers. Doyen's awaiting trial in connection with the deadly shooting of Roy Pike in May 2017. The hunt is still on for the man at the center of an attack in Fort Myers. Southwest Florida Crime Stoppers says they're getting a lot of tips about who this man could be. You see his rendition there. Investigators say he sexually assaulted and tried to kidnap a woman Monday night near US 41 and Brantley. And they say if you ever find yourself alone, no matter where you are, you want to stay aware.
Be aware whether you're walking in your neighborhood, you're walking in the mall. Always be aware of your surroundings. That is the absolute best thing that you can do.
The woman was able to get away, luckily, but the unknown man was last seen driving a white four-door sedan. If you know anything, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers.
The city of Cape Coral has invited the Army Corps of Engineers to discuss water management, and you can listen in. That informational meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, March 26th at 6:30 in the evening at Cape Christian Fellowship. That's on Chiquita Boulevard. The Lee County School District hosting a presentation for parents on social media. They want you to be able to have conversations with your children about social media and how to use it appropriately. There are going to be two presentations. The first one's on Tuesday, also March 26th at 6 p.m. at Cape Coral High School. The other one happens on Monday, April 8th at 6 p.m. at Varsity Lakes Middle School. And time is coming for you to have your voice heard regarding an upcoming FDOT project. State officials are holding a public hearing for that Harborview Road project in Charlotte County. The recommended widening improvements will require acquisition of right-of-way and stormwater management bonds. But it's going to be happening tomorrow evening starting at 4 at the Charlotte County Punta Gorda Metropolitan Planning Organization.
A tragic update to a story we brought to you as breaking news last night at 10. A Fort Myers man was killed in a hit-and-run crash on State Road 80 in Fairfax Drive last night. Troopers say he was run over by at least 2 cars. It could have been up to 4. Only one of the drivers waited for troopers to arrive. Investigators say the first driver was in a silver car. FHP says those who left could face criminal charges.
What you don't want to do is make what is potentially a bad situation worse by leaving. Should you be involved in a traffic crash or potentially think, oh man, I may have hit something, stay there.
Well, this is just one of several hit-and-run crashes in Lee County under investigation lately. Anyone with information on this wreck or any of the previous hit-and-runs are asked to call Crime Stoppers. We now know the name of the woman accused of driving into a 7-Eleven in Fort Myers and injuring 2 people. Florida Highway Patrol says this woman, Elizabeth Mccarney, was parked at the store on South Cleveland Avenue yesterday. They say for unknown reasons, Mccarney left the parking space and accelerated as she approached the store and just plowed right through the store, as you can see there. Troopers say she hit Spencer Thomas and Tahara Kanam. They were both transported to Lee Memorial Hospital with minor injuries. Mccarney is now charged with driving with a suspended license. She was also cited for careless driving.
Protect your stuff at the gym. Crime Stoppers putting out a warning about gym locker thieves tonight. Surveillance cameras catching at least one of the suspected thieves as the person used a stolen credit card at a store, racking up thousands. At least 3 victims have reported their credit cards were stolen from what they thought were secured lockers at Crunch Fitness Gym on Summerlin Road in Fort Myers. If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers or local law enforcement. A state lawmaker says agencies are using the court system to block your access to public records in Florida. A bill that would prohibit the practice received its first approval today by a House subcommittee. Representative Ray Rodriguez from Southwest Florida says his bill is a response to agencies going to court after receiving public records requests. If an agency takes civil action and a judge sides with the requester, the agency doesn't have to reimburse the legal fees. Rodriguez says that could deter people from pursuing records that they are legally entitled to. He's only been in office for 2 months, but according to a new Quinnipiac University poll, Florida voters do approve of the job that Governor Ron DeSantis is doing, 59-17. Now, DeSantis has received the highest approval rating for any Florida governor in 10 years now. Over 2/3 of Florida voters say they're, quote, very satisfied or, quote, somewhat satisfied with the way things are currently going in the state. And 71% agree that the state's economy is strong.
If you can't get into your social media accounts today or just sort of in and out of the accounts, you're not alone. Instagram and Facebook appear to go down this afternoon around the world. Now, it's unclear what caused the issue, but users were having some trouble accessing and logging into their social media networks. Users then headed over to Twitter using the hashtag Facebook down. The apparent outage quickly became one of the top trending topics. Facebook tells USA Today that the company is aware and is working to resolve that issue. Cuts coming to the Everglades restoration. How the president's proposal to spend less on it could impact our corner of Florida.
A heart-tugging moment for a bottlenose dolphin calf in Southwest Florida. What wildlife workers found the calf tangled up in?
And later, a Florida man taking on the mask of a Marvel superhero to steal from a liquor store. The mistake he made, though, that led investigators right to him. Straight ahead on Fox 4 News at 10. Derek.
It was another day of above-average temperatures with highs in the 80s, but we've got some cooler weather and some pretty decent rain chances on the 7-day forecast. The latest coming up.
Hey everyone, I'm Lauren Petrelli. Looking ahead to your commute for tonight, maybe even early tomorrow morning. Some new construction, I-75 northbound and Estero Parkway. This is happening between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. Don't forget, you need to watch out for any crews who may be along the roadway. Also, some possible lane closures. You can also join me every weekday morning before you head out the door for a check of your traffic.
Feeling shortchanged, some state lawmakers are criticizing President Trump for what they say is not enough funding for Everglades restoration.
Well, as part of our Protecting Paradise series, our Adam Pinsker speaks with environmentalists who worry under funding harms the Everglades.
This is just the initial budget proposal by President Trump. Congress will have to determine if the Everglades will get more funding, but people I spoke with today say they're not too happy about these $63 million proposed so far.
We can't go another decade with the kind of harm that's occurring now.
Calusa waterkeeper John Casani has witnessed firsthand the kind of havoc algae blooms have caused all over Florida. It's a result of excess water being released from Lake Okeechobee. Politicians have touted a 17,000-acre reservoir south of the lake as a solution. It would store and release the water south, taking the burden off the Caloosahatchee and St. Lucie rivers.
This is a perched reservoir that'll sit 23 feet above elevation. Nothing like this has ever been built in Florida before.
And it's not a project that can be done overnight.
So if we don't have adequate funding soon, it's just going to take longer to complete.
With a price tag in the billions, Casani says at the rate it's being funded now, the reservoir would take 65 years to complete. Congressman Francis Rooney says President Trump's last two budgets included smaller amounts of Everglades funding, but in the end, the president agreed to a larger budget. Rooney says he will twist some arms on Capitol Hill to make sure the Everglades once again gets its fair share.
I'll be using the same strategies that I used in 2017 and 2018, which seemed to work out pretty well.
And Senator Rick Scott told Four in Your Corner in a statement today that he strongly opposes any cuts to Everglades restoration. He sits on the Senate Budget Committee and will have some say in how much money the Everglades may get. Reporting from Lee County, Adam Pinsker, Fox 4 in Your Corner.
Adam, thank you. Harriet and M15's babies are growing up so fast. Take a look. E12 took a leap of faith yesterday and flew for the first time. This was all caught on the Southwest Florida Eagle Cam. E12 landed on a tree before coming back to the nest a few minutes later. Children do that sometimes, you know. Bird watchers went out to the nest today, hoping to catch a glimpse of the famous eagle couple and their eaglets. Fun.
E13 got knocked out of the nest last night by an owl, so I got here just before the break of day so I could check on him to make sure he was fine. He made it back into the nest a little bit after 7 this morning successfully.
All right, a live look now at the nest. All is quiet there. The eaglets were born around Christmas. Hopefully E13 will take flight any day now. We will be sure to let you know when they do, but E12 still just hanging close to mom and dad. A happy ending for a young dolphin in distress. Take a look at these photos from Florida Fish and Wildlife. Crews from several agencies worked to untangle the bottlenose dolphin calf in Inglewood. It was caught in fishing line, which was cutting into its tail and mouth. The calf was given antibiotic shot before swimming off with its mom.
Cape Coral has been named one of the 50 happiest cities in the country. Wallet Hub says Cape Coral came in 24th on the list when it comes to happiness rankings. They were based on emotional and physical well-being, income and employment, and community and environment. Two other Florida cities also landed in the top 50. Pembroke Pines came in at number 28, and Port St. Lucie ranked at 45.
All right, other Southwest Florida cities are very happy though. You can grab a steak and donate to a good cause all in one shot. First responders will be helping wait staff at Texas Roadhouse in Fort Myers. They'll take orders and serve customers in hopes of getting a tip, and all of that money will go to Special Olympics. So the special dinner is going to be scheduled for Monday, March 25th and Tuesday, the 26th, anywhere from 4 until 8 p.m. at the Texas Roadhouse on Danny Drive. If you love hot dogs and eating contests, well, this one's for you. It's Nathan's Famous. You know, they're looking for some contestants. A qualifier for the annual 4th of July International Hot Dog Eating Contest will be held at their Cape Coral location. You know, that new one on Del Prado? That's on Saturday, April 13th at 1 in the afternoon. So you could qualify for a seat at the contest in Coney Island this summer. To register, head to MajorLeagueEating.com.
A community message to emphasize the importance of protecting children from abuse. As part of National Child Abuse Prevention Month next month, you can be part of the effort in Naples to break the Guinness World Record for the largest toy pinwheel display in the whole wide world. Starts at 8 a.m. Saturday, April 13th at the Naples Pier, and you'll be given a free pinwheel.
That's a sweet picture of all that blue, his shirt, the pinwheel, the sky, the water.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
This would have been a good day for pinwheels with all the wind that we had. It feels great. I don't know if you've been out there this evening.
Yeah.
Nice.
It feels fantastic. We only get it to be like that in July and August around here. Let's get right to your forecast. You can see that we're rain-free across the area, but we're going to be tracking some rain as early as this weekend. But it looks like next week is where we're going to see our best chances here over the next 7 days. 60s, 70s temperature-wise right now. The cool spots inland, of course, up towards Moorhaven and Clewiston in the mid-60s, but you get a little bit closer to the coast, low to mid-70s. But it's a very comfortable evening. Dew points are lower than what we've been seeing lately, down to the 50s and 60s. So that's making it feel pretty comfortable outside. And we've had this east wind at about 10 to 15, some occasional gusts here throughout the day and into this evening. And that is going to continue through the overnight hours and to an extent into tomorrow. Probably not going to be quite as gusty here for tomorrow afternoon. But here's a look at your forecast as we start off the morning. Clear skies, mid-60s. By lunchtime, getting up to around 80 degrees here. So your weather headlines here for the next couple of days, really no issues at all. Thursday and Friday look fine. We're going to see plenty of sunshine. It looks like our chances for rain, though, will be going up this weekend. We're going to be tracking a front that's going to drop into the area by Saturday, so we'll have a chance for some showers with that. Slightly lower chance on Sunday. And then next week, especially Tuesday and Wednesday, looking a little cool and a little wet, as we're going to be tracking an area of low pressure that will be moving across the area here by the middle part of next week. But speaking of low pressure, take a look at this thing. This has been a monster storm system, big time area of low pressure producing hurricane force wind gusts, blowing and drifting snow, sleet, flash flooding. Even a good chunk of the state of Nebraska right now is pretty much shut down due to heavy rainfall, as well as South Dakota. And you can see the area of low pressure as it tracked this evening on GOES rapid scan mesoscale satellite here as it tracks up into portions of southern Nebraska here. Big time storm system there producing even severe weather down on the southern end. Now what that's going to do is track north here over the next couple of days, but it will drag a cold front in here by Saturday. So notice here, we're going to be tracking a few showers across parts of South Florida on Saturday. The front's going to stall just off to our south into Sunday and Monday. An area of low pressure is going to develop by late Monday into Tuesday, and it'll track across Central and South Florida coming up on Tuesday into Wednesday, and that's when I think we'll see the highest chances for rain. It'll also get a little breezy, and with the clouds with rain around, temperatures are going to go back below average. So instead of 80s for highs, we're going to have highs in the 70s for a couple of days next week as that rain moves by. So 65 tonight, mostly clear. Tomorrow, 86 with clouds and sunshine. Southeast winds 5 to 15. Your Ingman Marine forecast seas running 2 feet with a south wind in the afternoon at 10 to 15 knots. Here's your 7-day forecast. 80s, mid-80s that is, through Saturday, and then we're going to be tracking those cooler temperatures next week with highs in the 70s. St. Patrick's Day, only a slight chance for a shower on Sunday, and then wet weather. Highest chances Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.
Why wait for St. Patrick's Day? Maybe you'll have the luck of the Irish tonight. The Powerball jackpot up to almost $500 million tonight. No one's won since the day after Christmas, so the jackpot's been rolling over ever since. It's estimated to be at $448 million at last check. And you can watch that drawing tonight right here on Fox 4. We are your official Florida lottery station.
White boy Rick could be getting out of prison sooner rather than later. Why 2 former FBI agents say he should be let out early.
Also ahead, this is not your usual burglary suspect. Spider-Man does whatever a crook can. How Florida deputies caught the person behind the mask. Next at 10. A Florida man turns out to be a not-so-neighborhood-friendly Spider-Man.
That's right. He was caught on camera trying to steal from a liquor store in the Orlando area, but he made a critical mistake. Apparently, when he first tried to get inside the store, he wasn't even wearing a mask. He actually went to a nearby secondhand store and rummaged through some donated items for a disguise. But deputies recognized him as Edward Wilburn, a.k.a. Fast Eddie.
Eddie has a very, very long rap sheet, and Eddie has been in and out of jail, prison, you name it. And he was actually, during the time of this incident, he was actually out on bond for other burglaries.
Well, deputies say the liquor and cigarettes he was trying to steal were all to exchange for drugs.
Didn't even have the matching pants. Dozens of planes grounded in the U.S., how it could impact your flight, and what's next for these planes.
College paid for sounds too good to be true, right? Well, that's now the reality for two Southwest Florida students. Were there the moment they found out that college is covered. Still ahead on Fox 4 News at 10.
Claim it! Live from the station that's in your corner, you're watching Fox 4 News at 10.
It's a beautiful resort, but tonight some people in Naples are at odds over plans for a major redo of this attraction. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Patrick Nolan.
And I'm Jane Monreal. Fox 4's Carl Fortier shows us what has some residents so concerned about a rebuild of the Naples Beach Hotel.
The Naples Beach Hotel and Golf Resort has been a city landmark for decades. Now a developer, the Athens Group, plans to tear down the current hotel building to make way for a smaller hotel and add residential condos throughout the 120-acre property.
Naples has an opportunity to have a five-star world-class resort that these 70,000, 300,000 people could benefit from and would use.
But the initial plans met with opposition from people living nearby. At 7 stories, more than 11 feet higher than city code allows, some say the new buildings would be too high to maintain Naples' small-town charm.
I'm still a little bit concerned that the building's a colossal building next door to Surfside.
The developer's also asking for a variance on the setback of the buildings to be closer to the street than city code permits. At Wednesday's meeting of the city planning board, the Athens Group presented a compromise that would preserve the resort's golf course as green space forever.
And the fact that Naples is going to have 104 acres in the center of town, green forever, is not many towns have that opportunity.
But not everyone was convinced the proposal's language means the green space would stay so green, leaving open the possibility of clubhouses and added parking areas.
No limit in this document as to the number of clubhouses or the size of clubhouses.
Carl Fortier, Fox 4, in your corner.
The planning board unanimously approved the redevelopment project for the Naples Beach Hotel late this afternoon. Now it has to go before the Naples City Council for final approval next month. In the past 3 days, there have been 3 car fires along I-75. 4 in your corner spoke with Lieutenant Greg Bueno from FHP about what to do if this happened to you. He says first, pull over to the shoulder or on the shoulder as far as you can, and then immediately call 911, and then get everyone out of your car. The best way to prevent this from happening is by getting your car serviced regularly.
Have your car routinely inspected, because sometimes these things are preventable. You want to make sure that your tires are routinely checked as well, your brakes are routinely checked, that your engine compartment is routinely checked.
And local mechanics recommend getting your oil change every 3 months or 3,000 miles.
A new option for your family to keep up with loved ones with special needs. It's the Take Me Home program. It's now available on the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office app. It lets you add your loved one's information, attach a picture, and then if your loved one goes missing, dispatch can immediately send the photo, the description, even the special needs out to law enforcement before they even get to your home. It's not a tracking program, so you should have your privacy, and it is free for you to use. Tonight, the second of 2 famous actresses involved in that college admissions scandal turned herself into authorities. Full House star Lori Loughlin and her husband stand accused of paying $500,000 in bribes to have their daughters falsely designated as recruits for the crew team at University of Southern California to get into the school. They're among the dozens of wealthy parents accused of funneling money for similar schemes. Desperate Housewives star Felicity Huffman is also charged in that scandal. And there is a Southwest Florida angle tonight. IMG Academy in Bradenton releasing a statement on Mark Rydell. He worked there. He's been charged in the investigation. 36 years old, accused of taking the SAT pretending to be teens. Well, the statement reads in part, "We suspended Mr. Rydell indefinitely, and we have no reason to believe this alleged misconduct extends beyond Mr. Rydell, nor do we believe that these actions have any direct relation to the academy, students, parents, or staff." The U.S. is now joining a lot of other countries who did it first in grounding all of Boeing's 737 MAX jets.
This comes after an Ethiopian Airlines flight crashed over the weekend in Africa, killing everyone on board. It's the second deadly crash for Boeing's 737 MAX in 6 months. Ray Bogans in Washington with more.
Multiple countries have grounded Boeing 737 MAX aircraft as the black boxes from this weekend's deadly crash in Ethiopia head to France for analysis.
Boeing is an incredible company. They are working very, very hard right now. And hopefully they'll very quickly come up with the answer.
President Trump says Wednesday's decision by the FAA was made in conjunction with Canadian authorities. Canada's Transportation Secretary citing new satellite tracking data for their decision to ground the planes.
My experts have looked at this and compared it to the flight that occurred with Lion Air. Not conclusive, but there are similarities.
Experts say there are indicators that pilots in both the Lion Air and Ethiopian airline crashes struggle to control the plane. One of the causes could be the 737 MAX's autopilot system, which pilots have reported problems with in the past. In a statement, Boeing said they continue to have full confidence in the safety of the 737 MAX, but agreed with the FAA's move out of an abundance of caution and in order to reassure the flying public of the aircraft's safety. Several union leaders representing airline workers supported the decision.
If there's a minuscule, any problem at all, that there might be a safety issue with that plane, then our members, our flight attendants shouldn't have to get on that aircraft, and neither should our passengers.
Two top lawmakers on the House Transportation Committee are calling for a rigorous investigation into the jet's certification, focusing on why additional pilot training was not required despite the jet's new safety systems. In Washington, Ray Bogan, Fox News.
This 49-year-old inmate, once portrayed by Matthew McConaughey in the movie White Boy Rick, could be getting out of a Florida prison early for a drug conviction. Richard Wershey Jr., known as White Boy Rick, was one of the youngest FBI informants ever at age 14. In fact, two former FBI agents have told the Florida Clemency Board he should be let out early for helping take down a major cocaine trafficking ring years ago.
Plans for a memorial to the victims of the Pulse nightclub shooting have been approved by Orlando City Council. The memorial will be at Greenwood Cemetery. There will be 7 rows of 7 markers, each engraved with the names of the victims killed in the 2016 massacre. 2 park benches will be available for visitors. 4 of the 49 victims are buried there at Greenwood Cemetery. The football coach at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School is resigning. Willis May Jr. is leaving the Eagles after 6th season. Last season, they went 5-5 during a time when his assistant coach, Aaron Feist, and 16 others were killed in that mass school shooting. May says he will move to another part of Florida to be closer to his family and intends to continue coaching. A new program is attracting teachers from around the country to work for a Florida district. Hillsborough County recently started the Spark initiative. It's $17 million to reward educators who choose to work at struggling or achievement schools or low achievement schools. They'll earn up to a $13,000 bonus and free or cheaper childcare. So far, some applications the district's received are from teachers in states like Georgia, New York, and Tennessee.
If you have students destined for college, you know it can be stressful for families to decide where they should go, how to pay for it, and what majors to pick.
Very difficult decisions, but 2 Lee County students don't have to worry thanks to a Golden Futures Scholarship. Fox 4's Jillian Hartman was there as they found out.
Such a special surprise for South Fort Myers senior Will Holderfield.
I feel honestly amazed.
As he was awarded the Golden Future Scholarship from the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools.
This young man just rose to the top as somebody that always knew what he wanted to do, which is teach.
The scholarship is a full ride to Florida Southwestern State College for teaching.
So many are coming out of school with huge debt, almost like a mortgage right off the bat. He won't have to worry about that.
Plus, a guaranteed job at Lee County School District after graduation.
This is a win-win-win for everybody. There's a real need for teachers here in Lee County.
Lee County is short hundreds of teachers.
That answers a specific problem that the school district has. We hope to keep growing it so that we can grow our own.
Lee County students becoming Lee County teachers. Ida S. Baker senior Casey Dunn was also awarded the scholarship.
Presented herself in a very professional manner when she was doing the interview.
Casey hopes to be a life skills teacher for autistic students And Will wishes to be a social studies teacher.
Both my dad and my uncle are history teachers.
The foundation says they will continue to grow this program as it's a great opportunity for both students and the district. Jillian Hartman, Fox 4, in your corner.
A Dunedin thrift shop is getting a lot of attention, and it's all thanks to a famous Supreme Court justice. Volunteers just opened this store last month, and they got a donation of a pearl necklace. One of the volunteers said this would be perfect for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. This was going on as she was recovering from lung cancer surgery. So they mailed the necklace to her along with a letter, and just 4 days later, they got a response from her.
The collar you sent me is exquisite and will be among my favorites. I will wear it during the first sitting I return to the court. With huge appreciation, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Making Dunedin, Florida famous, that volunteer says the letter is bringing a lot of attention to the store, and they love that because they're all volunteers for Dunedin Episcopal Church, and the money they make from the thrift store goes right back into the community. New changes could be coming to student loans.
But not everyone's thrilled about it. The new concerns over how the president wants to make cuts to the program and what it would mean for students.
Also, the Southwest Florida Farmers Market that's helping those in need, and how you're helping out too when you shop there.
Spring break, it means more sun. What you need to know to protect your family from its harmful rays when you hit the beach.
Seriously, why would you spend spring break anywhere else than Southwest Florida? Look at this view of Fort Myers Beach, courtesy of the Storm Smart Sky Cam. Chief Meteorologist Derek Beasley with your full forecast just ahead on Fox 4 News at 10. Giving back plus fresh, locally grown produce. Every Wednesday, more than 40 vendors gather on Fort Myers Beach for the Beach Baptist Farmers Market. As part of the market, the church is also fundraising for their mission in the Central American country of Guatemala. Every cup of coffee, every bag of coffee sold there goes directly to funding their mission work, which Pastor Sean says is really important to them.
The farmers market was set up so that we could do an ongoing project with Guatemala, where we have a pastor that we've set up at a church down there who also farms and raises coffee. So we bring his coffee to the United States via just direct marketing. We have it roasted with a partner of ours in Atlanta who's another church. We bring it back down here and we sell it.
Yeah. That's right.
The market's right off Connecticut Street on Fort Myers Beach from 8 to 1 every Wednesday, and it runs through the end of May.
President Trump's proposing new reforms to the student loan program. The goal is to spend your tax dollars more wisely and eliminate waste. But as Arthur Mondale shows us, college students are worried about the possibility of added debt.
Yes, student loans are a burden.
Melanie Ramos comes from a family that knows firsthand the effects of student loan debt.
I would say avoid it because I actually have a brother and my sister-in-law that took out student loans when they went to school. And they're still trying to pay it off. They're living with us now to to save up and to pay it off.
It's a cautionary tale for area students preparing to take on debt.
I may potentially have to take out $10,000 per year.
In an effort to hold colleges and universities more accountable, the president has a list of reforms to student loan programs inside his budget for a better America. The proposal would eliminate subsidized loans, meaning the loan would accrue interest while a student is in school. The Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program would also end. The plan already concerns some students.
When I graduate, I'm going to have to pay my loans back. And if the interest is higher, that's more money I have to pay back. And if I don't have a job, it's just going to add up until I eventually get a job and pay the student loans back.
But opinions aside, financial experts say there's a reason why the Trump administration would be for it.
If you think about it from a total cost standpoint, eliminating the subsidized loans will hurt borrowers in so much as it will cost them more over the time of the loan. Now, somebody in the Trump administration is probably going to say, true, but we're going to make them think more about how they spend those dollars, and we're going to make them spend those dollars more responsibly.
If the president's proposal is approved, it would apply to loans originating on or after July 1st of 2020.
All right, if you're getting ready to travel or head to the beach for spring break, we are in your corner with a heads up on what you need when it comes to sunscreens. We actually spoke with a dermatologist, Dr. Seth Foreman. He says the difference between SPF 15 and SPF 60 really isn't that big, and both will work for you. And a lot of times, it really doesn't matter which SPF you choose if you use it correctly.
The truth is, this SPF 15, if applied correctly, will block out 93% of the rays of the sun. And this 60 plus really it only blocks about 5 to 6% more than this one.
Dr. Foreman also says you want to wear protective clothing like this, a nice broad-rimmed hat, sunglasses, to better protect your skin and eyes from that harsh sun.
This is Patrick's uniform.
I know. I can't believe I am now that guy that I used to make fun of as a teenager in South Florida, but completely covered.
Oh, you have
the
to.
white, hat, the shirt,
sunblock. I'm
not
pretty
doing
much
long
the same
pants
way.
yet. I'm going to draw the line there.
I've been doing long pants lately. I mean, you got to do it.
I'm the long sleeve shirt for sure.
Yeah.
And then the wide brimmed hat. Yeah.
Well, you're certainly going to need it over the next couple of days. Not so much perhaps next week, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. But as you can see, we are looking at dry conditions now, but we could be looking at a little bit of rain sneaking in here this weekend with a cold front that's going to drop into the area. Now, it does not look like we're going to see a high chance for rain this weekend. It's not until the middle of next week that we're going to be watching another storm system that'll be developing along the front that could spread some wet weather in here as early as late Monday night, Tuesday, and into Wednesday. That's the timing now, but that certainly is subject to change, but it does look like the first part of next week will be a little bit cooler. 60s, 70s now, 72 out at Page Field, 73 here in the Cape. And we've had an easterly wind through the afternoon, about 10 to 15 miles an hour, and it looks like that's continuing now. I was out earlier this evening, felt fantastic, and it looks like that should continue here for tonight with relatively low moisture levels. But then as the day goes on tomorrow, it'll gradually get a little bit more humid. We're expecting a few clouds here for tomorrow afternoon, but it should be another nice day with temperatures again topping out into the middle 80s. Of course, the big story has been the big storm system that is out in the midsection of the country. You can see how this thing is winding up. This is the upper level reflection of it on water vapor, but you can clearly see how this thing's winding up. Blizzard conditions from eastern Colorado all the way through parts of Nebraska into the Dakotas, and then we've been seeing a little bit of severe weather this evening right along the Mississippi River from Arkansas down into portions of Louisiana and Mississippi. All the bright red here, those are blizzard warnings, I should say, from the eastern portions of Colorado, from the Front Range and the plains of eastern Colorado, all the way up into Dakotas and into northwest Minnesota. Winter storm warnings even farther towards the east, and we're looking at the significant flash flooding occurring with wet weather going on across portions of Nebraska into the Dakotas here for tonight. That's going to be a big problem. They're going to have winds gusting over 50 miles an hour as we go throughout the day tomorrow across much of the northern plains into the Ohio Valley. Now, what we're going to be tracking, though, as we go into next week is a pattern change. Now, notice all the yellow over Florida now. We're going to see a dip in the jet stream by next week, and that's going to send some cooler weather our way. So instead of being above average temperature-wise like we are now, we're going to see temperatures going back below average. You can see through next week, most of the state of Florida in blue, indicating those cooler temperatures. And then notice this, we're actually going to see above average chances for rainfall here south of I-4. So it looks like a good chunk of Central and South Florida will be seeing some wet weather, at least for the first part of next week. Weekend forecast, only a few showers expected here for you Saturday, about a 30 to 40% chance, 84 the high, and then 82 coming up on Sunday with an even lower probability for rain. 65 tonight, mostly clear. Tomorrow, 86 with clouds and sunshine, and the southeast wind 5 to 15. A little more humid for tomorrow afternoon as well. Pair of 86s there to close out the work week. Chance for rain on Saturday, about 30 to 40%. Slightly lower chance for the St. Patrick's Day. And then next week, notice the temperatures only making it into the 70s with cloud cover and rain around. And it looks like those temperatures staying in the 70s here through next Wednesday. We'll be right back after this.
Steve Ram. Even though tomorrow is National Pie Day, as in P.I., the math thing, Cheddar Scratch Kitchen offering a PIE deal, buy one, get one free for chicken pot pies.
Yum. A second round of trouble at the mayor's office in Port Richey. What we know about why the stand-in mayor of Port Richey was arrested just after the last one was arrested just weeks ago. That's coming up all new.